Think your state is one of the safest states in the country? We're going to take a look at the 10 most violent states in America. The states you're most likely to be murdered, raped, or assaulted. Number 10, Oklahoma. Due in large part to cities like Tulsa and Muskogee that have violent crime rates 200% higher than that of the national average, and the state as a whole falling in the bottom 16 in all murder, rapes, and assaults. Number 9, South Dakota. You'd like to believe the Central American states would be safer than they are, but smaller populations mean that on a per 100,000 person basis, it doesn't take as many incidents to become bad. But South Dakota is mainly this high on the list because they're the third worst state in the country for rapes. Number 8, Tennessee. The volunteer state, due to the violent crime in cities like Memphis, with a violent crime rate over 500% worse than the national average, and where your odds of becoming a victim of a violent crime are 1 in 43, brings Tennessee to a place where it's the third worst state for assaults and sixth worst for murder. Number 7, South Carolina. The sixth worst state for assaults and fifth worst for murder. Cities like Myrtle Beach are slowly getting better, but smaller towns like Darlington, famous for its NASCAR races, have violent crime rates over 300% higher than the national average and a murder rate that rivals that of Chicago, Illinois. Number 6, Michigan. Moving into the upper Midwest, it should be no surprise Michigan makes this list with cities like Detroit, Kalamazoo, and a number of smaller towns with high violent crime rates. Michigan is top 10 worst for both rapes and assaults, and 14th worst in murder. Number 5, Missouri. The city of St. Louis and its surrounding area is enough on its own to get Missouri into the top 5. St. Louis has one of the highest murder rates in the country and gives Missouri as a state the second worst murder rate in America. Number 4, New Mexico. New Mexico leads all states on being the worst for assaults, and with cities like Albuquerque and Gallup having violent crime rates over 300% higher than the national average. I stayed in Gallup one time years ago when I was driving across country, and someone was murdered in the parking lot of the hotel the night I was there. Number 3, Alaska. You'd think going this far north to a place where it's dark half the year would provide a nice, tranquil outdoor experience, which it may, but Alaska is this high on the list mainly because it's the number 1 worst state for rapes. And it's not even close. It's twice as bad as the handful of states below it, and by all accounts, those states are really bad. It's a beautiful state, I've been there many times, but it's second only to New Mexico for assaults, and small towns in the middle of nowhere like Nome, Alaska, have violent crime rates almost 1,000 times higher than that of the national average. If you visit Nome, your odds of becoming a victim of a violent crime is 1 in 24. Number 2, Louisiana. The worst state in the country as far as murders go, with cities like Monroe and New Orleans, as well as many small towns with murder rates that make Chicago look like a utopia. Louisiana is easily one of the most violent states in the country. And the number 1 most violent state in America is Arkansas. The natural state is third worst in murders, fourth worst in assaults, and second only to Alaska in rapes. And it's not just Little Rock. There are many smaller towns that add to this violent crime numbers. Well, those are the top 10 most violent states in America. Subscribe to this channel if you want to see more videos like this. Support this channel and pick yourself up some original crime-related apparel. Look for the link in the description.